Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to SimTraX Broadcasting. We are coming to you live here with the USORL series. This time, we're going to be with them during the Cup Series. Obviously, Xfinity cars will be our choice of the night. Looking to see if a couple of the drivers, as you can see, unfortunately, we're going to be looking through a little bit of a smoky area around here, trying to hope these cars end up squaring themselves away and looking much better out there. I'm hoping at some point we are going to see somebody alive out there. But Stella, really, as we keep working here at a track like this, what kind of things do you think we could see out here?
Right now, not a heck of a lot with all this fog and smoke. But if it was a beautiful, clear day, you would see a lovely mile and a half oval that asphalt paved in 2003. That's when they did the banking for this lovely flat track, being that it is in Homestead-Miami. But they put it in 4 lakes so that they could dig up enough limestone to make 18 to 20-degree banking on the corners of this track. So should be an interesting night. And ooh, looks like some stripes along the wall there already. Hope that's not from these guys' practice.
Yeah, well, practice has been a little sketchy for some of the drivers out there. It's been skipping around, and they're trying to stay out there on the track as it is super loose out here tonight. And let's try to see if we can find out why. Track temperature down at around 75 degrees. That would probably be it. Seeing we're at 134 laps with 4 sets of tires on this 72% fuel capacity. No fast repairs will be allowed here in this league. Me, of course, is your lead producer. And Stella as the co-commentator next to me. Notice that humidity also at 100%. Yuck. That is going to be terrible here.
Florida.
Yeah, welcome to Florida. I don't say it's a terrible place to be, but it feels like an armpit down there. Florida, which is obviously going to kick us off to the Florida Dodge Dealers 200 here tonight. Drivers are getting ready to line up here for gridding out there on the on pit road here, Stella. And right now, I want to take a quick peek where we've got our guys. Let's go ahead and run through our grid setup. Stella, why don't you go ahead and take it away here?
Sure. Sitting on pole position tonight is Steve Merzlak, followed by Luke Smith. In the second row, we've got Andrew Hennessy and Huang Do. Third row, on the inside, Kerry Rogers and Garrett Sidnor. We've got in seventh position tonight, Zachary Webster and Cam Barnes, Darren Ingram and Jace Nelson. Finish up our top 10. In the number 5 car, we have Cal Lovell and Trey Coleman in 12th, bringing up the end of our 6th row. And wow, we've got a nice full field tonight. Tyler Stallwood in 13th position, followed up by Han Bordeaux. In the 8th row, we've got Zach Krostowski and Dewey Schramm, Austin Hakes and William Page in the 9th row. Daryl Harris, John Peterson in the 10th. 21st tonight is Jason Kristen, 22nd Adam Hoagland, and Eric Sable brings up the rear last but not least.
Yeah, we'll take a look and see if Eric Sable does take behind the wheel tonight. It does look like he's going to be a little laggy here. Getting to it, green flag is out, and away we go. Already kicking off this one here at Homestead. Fantastic time for these guys, having a good qualifying time out there. You want to start out front and get that fresh air. Obviously, you're going to be able to see out there, Stella, that your favorite car, I'm sure, will be the Baskin-Robbins machine there of Han Bordeaux. Right now, Bordeaux 26 machine is sitting 14th, hasn't moved a spot yet, but I'm sure we're going to see a little bit of shuffling around. Fresh tires out here on the cars as these guys are going to be mushing themselves up and sliding all around the track. And there we go as we pass Barney for our first time, officially getting the lap number 2 underway. Merzlak, Luke Smith, and Hennessy. Hennessy been hot as of late. Stella, I believe this guy's got a couple of wins already to start this season as we join these guys for race number 5.
Yeah, to include last week at Bristol, he came in first, and that, like you say, is not the only time he has had a win.
Yep, well, a couple of other things these guys are going to be trying out here tonight is going to be that pit strategy. When they decide to come in and decide to take these tires. They've got a few of them. It'll work, but I don't know for how long. I would probably say we're going to be hovering around a tough part of this track determining whether they're going to be able to make it on fuel. Stella, we've got 3 sets of tires down in the pit, and how confident do you think these drivers feel out there that they're going to be able to hold out as long as they can for the remainder of this race? And when should they come down and pit on their tire strategies?
Well, the tire strategies, I really thought we had 4 in the pits tonight, so I'm a little off of whatever I'm going to say. But I think with the banking here and the fact that it is only a mile and a half, the odd count of 72% for fuel, I think, is going to be more of a concern for them than tires. But as soon as they run, low, 4 tires every time.
Yep. Well, you are correct. Double checking on everything out there. Yes, we do have 4 sets of tires as we move back to the number 4 of Zach Krostowski. He is sitting 16th now in that Lucas Oil machine. You see him sliding here to the inside of the 42 of William Page, and now trying to take on the 28 Toyota of Austin Higgs. Higgs has moved up a couple of positions here so far. He hasn't one of the ones who's moved the most. Trey Coleman has moved 3 as well as Cam Barnes. Both those guys ending up in the, I believe, 9th position and up in 5th. Right now, Cam Barnes doing a great job here so far as we get on top of the vehicle, taking a look forward as that leader is starting to pull away about 3/4 of a second out in front of Steven Merzlak. Luke Smith has it here tonight with his 39 Chevrolet.
Yeah, that didn't take long, and it's amazing how fast a second passes. He is way up there. At least we're still in the binocular range and not the telescope.
Yep, well, it is definitely starting to grow already. Another 1/4 of a second away. Smith is starting to pull away, but I would say he's being very aggressive to these tires out here. Is he going to be able to hold on? The banking out here isn't as nice, and we've already got a driver around. I believe Dewey Schramm is our first one that might be looking the wrong way up the track.
Oh, no.
All right, checking out there in the chat, they're very lonely out there. Looks like the D7H5 out there says, hate to be missing tonight. Glad to see y'all on the call so he can keep track away from home. So we'll definitely give you guys the best. Right now, Hoagland is right now showing a lap down here. Let's see what happened to Dewey Schramm and what got him turned around here on lap number 6. Ooh, the 43. Looks like he hooks him here.
A little help.
Well, Stella, I got to admit, out of all things that could have happened, right now, a set of flat spots and tires is probably the best thing you could hope for.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any real damage he's got to repair. Just maybe a little short change.
Yep, let's see if we can get a little chase cam here. Right there. Touches him, so we haven't been here and noticed if Dewey Schramm and John Peterson have anything going on. Peterson now sitting in that 20th spot. And guys are already coming down to fuel. Right now, it looks like everybody from 11th on back is deciding to come down into pit. I know they're going to be kind of eyeballing that one and seeing if there's going to be any sort of a cause caution issue. The 43 machine did make contact. Looked like he may have been angling up for that turn. But Stella, these guys move out of the trucks and into the Xfinity cars. It is a decent change. The guys have a little bit of a difficult time seeing out that right front as we right now move shotgun into John Peterson's machine. It doesn't look like he has any damage to that right front there. So that's going to be A-okay for him. He's going to be able to return back to the track. Looks like 19th position is where he's going to return to out there. But my biggest fear and concern right now is as Homestead-Miami gets a little tricky out here, and hopefully his track, for God's sake, starts warming up a little bit. I think these guys will be able to stick to the track a lot better. But I think everybody's just got those nervous jitters right now of trying to get this car not so tight. If you notice, the only driver out there, Luke Smith, seems to have this thing loosened up, and that's why his car is hooking so well around these turns. Everybody else, it almost feels like turning a brick out there. So there are a lot of guys are having that trouble and trying to figure out with their crew chiefs if any adjustment can be made to help fix this car and get this thing squared away.
Yeah, it's interesting. Are we looking at a fixed or an open setup league here?
Right now, I'm getting ready to sling you up to the race channel, and you are going to find out for me here in just a second. And we'll see how how we can get you to do that for me. If you go up there and find out, I believe Mr. Adam Hoagland and Jason Kristen. From what I knew, this should be, I believe, a fixed setup league, and we'll definitely double check and make 110% sure that we are or are not. Pace car lights are still on. That means one time around we're going to go. Wait for Barney to give us that solid yellow flag instead of waving it out there. And we should get this back underway. I do want to give a nice shout out there to Tyler Stallwood, who's moved right now up into the 8th position. So far, great job by him so far here tonight, as he has moved up to the 8th position. That gives him 5 up on the night in his Chevrolet. We finally find our first Toyota of Darren Ingram all the way back here in 12th. So that's going to be a hard call here for him to figure out if the Toyotas and the Sour Skittles machine is going to be marching backwards. Right now, I haven't seen a Toyota moving up other than Austin Hakes, who's moved up too, and he's now sitting in 15th. So biggest gainer, Tyler Stallwood, is sitting 8th. Biggest loser is going to be Gary Sindor, who sits right now in 11th. His Ford right now is losing 5 here on the night, but Stella, so early into this race, I think he'll have plenty of time to fight that back.
Yes, just about the time you figure out how to say his last name.
Sindor.
There you go.
Man, like I said, that SY trips me up every time. And like I said, I keep thinking like synthetic oil, like Sin, and it needs to be Sid. Like Sid from Toy Story. Maybe that's why I need to start thinking about.
Bingo.
All right, well, if I screw it up about 50 more times, I think we even did the kickoff for these guys in the truck series, and I butchered it 100 times over there at Daytona. I swear, 45. I swear, I've got to get that notepad and definitely write it with a Sharpie, but I think I'd write it wrong in the Sharpie, too.
Oh, no.
All right, Stella, fixed or open?
This is a fixed league.
Ooh, so the only thing that can be dialed in here is going to be a little bit of brake bias. So that can still be fixed. You can heat up the tires at a different type depending on when you started the race. You can only move up about 3 to 5% difference here. So you can, if you want to, start applying more rear brake bias out there, and that will help heat up the rear tires. All right, Barney, you ready to rip here, buddy?
Get it.
All right, and we are back racing. Luke Smith and Steven Merzlak out front. Way we go to get lap number 11 started here already. Luke Smith getting a good jump at the 71, holding on. Not bad here. Battle for the lead. Merzlak not letting go. He has the lead here, shooting into the backstretch. Right now has a decent lead here. Andrew Hennessy, who's been on a roll here as of late. Stella, how many wins does this guy have?
2 is so far. He also won in the Phoenix race.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, right now, I know Hennessy's been hot as of late. Eric Sable was another one who's been doing a bunch of winning out there as well. Let's roll back to Zachary Webster. Right now, I see Webster still in 7th in his qualifying position, but looks like Cal Lovell is sitting right in 8th, putting on a show here on the outside in the Lowe's machine. Right now, Ford in front, Ford to the side. Can he figure out how to beat him here? Ooh. 95 goes down, touches the paint, has to check up a little bit, and it looks like the 5 is going to be able to get the run off the corner here. A great job here so far is right now that Lovell machine, that number 5 Lowe's, is still working it out there. He's going to have to give it up and tuck right back in behind the 95 again. Looks like that is not going to end well here for Lovell as he now settles in 8th. Tyler Stallwood still 9th. He's was 8th, dropped down a position. And Sidnor is sitting 10th. 14 machine of Trey Coleman is up a position into 11th. And Austin Hakes now up 5, sitting 12th. Waiting to see if Ingram's Toyota can start kicking in overdrive here and working his way up to the front. Or is he working on a long-run machine? Wow. Quick crossover here by the number 42 machine of William Page. Page now working to the outside as we are now back in the 14th position. That's the battle we're looking at now. Around they go. Yes, quick clear. William Page now sits 13th, and now that's going to do it for them. Let's rotate back on up to Cam Barnes and Kerry Rogers. Stella, look at these two drivers here. Pretty close out there on the track. It looks like everybody's trying to get a read on each other and figure out where that soft spot is so they can start making some passes.
Yeah, I was looking at they are kind of getting single file now. Now we're looking at a 55-foot wide track, so there is not really a problem with these guys passing almost at will as far as spacing goes. But we shall see. Maybe they're just kind of getting in the groove, rubbering it up. We're only on lap 15 of 134.
Yep, still working it here. Merzlak did get around Luke Smith, who was not happy about that caution coming out. It definitely was working in his favor. It has shuffled him back to the third position, so is now Merzlak and Hennessy 1 and 2. Luke Smith sits third, Kerry Rogers fourth, and Cam Barnes sits in that fifth position. All right, looks like we got a little shuffling here. A couple different lines that can be run, and guys are trying a couple different areas out there as they sling past the palm trees on the backstretch, diving into turn number 3. Right now, I'm waiting to see if anybody else has got anything for us here. I believe Lovell will check back in on him as the 06 of Guangdong moves back to 6. Webster sitting 7th. Lovell is 8th. Stallhood is sitting 9th. And William Page reels him in really quick. So quick turn heading into 1 there as the number 3 tries to put something on it there, but no idea as the RCA machine is definitely dialing it back, and he's going to have to reattack.
Yeah, this is looking good. You were asking me about winners previously. We also Garrett Sidnor is a winner. Andrew Hennessy's won 2 races, and Eric Sable has won 1. So that adds up to 4, and we are currently in race number 5.
All right, well, I may have been honing in over there on the truck series as they are getting very close to their playoffs, where we'll take over for the playoffs. For Captain Esports over there, do appreciate him tuning in and definitely bringing you guys the live coverage over the past few months as we're going to now pick up the playoffs and take her to the end and finally crown ourselves another champion here in the USORL League. Right now, Kerry Rogers still following along here, and Stella, check out how this drive's kind of going here for Kerry Rogers. Sitting back, kind of following along here, but is dropping down just a little bit lower to get some fresh air to the nose of that car, and that might just work out. He's getting ready to sling around the 39 machine of Luke Smith.
Wow, surprising. Luke Smith is going to lose another position here.
Yeah, right now we are sitting on board with Luke Smith looking out that driver's window here. He's going to be in a little bit of trouble getting really close here to Kerry
I'm in
Rogers.
love with the watermelon helmet. Absolutely in love with the watermelon.
I'm fairly certain that is Kermit with an orange crush.
It is, but why is he a purple Kermit?
I don't know.
Okay. Oh, actually, he's a negative Kermit. Looking at the shade there.
Okay. See if we can find a couple of drivers who might still be battling it out here. I think William Page is working on it. He's up 9 positions on the night. Right now, William Page is doing a great job. Obviously, had a horrible qualifying time as he started 18th. And has now worked his Ford into the top 10. Not too bad here by the U.S. Air Force machine. They still continue on. Stella, we are getting guys spread apart here. By at least 2 to 3 car lengths out there on the track, some even more than that. But there's still a gaggle of cars here in the back. I do want to rotate back. Let's take a look at Hen Bordeaux, who's sitting 16th on the rotation back here lately. Ooh, little knock there to the RCA machine. Excuse me. And it looks like Kellogg's might get those flakes crushed up here in a moment if that keeps happening. The 43 of John Peterson, who was involved in our first caution back on lap number 6, working on the outside. Peterson almost closed off. Number 4, Zach Krastowski here, still working here on that inside line. 02 machine, check out this work that we see happening out here. The worst spot you can be in is where Stallwood is. Stallwood is looking to make a move here. He's got to figure out high or low. Middle is not the choice I would make. He's down 6 here on the night. Jace Nelson is even worse, sitting now down in 21st, losing 11. Right now, the 59, something is just not hooking up for that car. And I would say, Stella, even looking at how they're out here racing at the moment, this is exactly what you start to see is either he's saving tire here or something's not right with that car. And I'm wondering if he's still battling, trying to fight it back. Most of our drivers in the top 10 have not pit The only one who did was William Page. He came in for a quick fuel and go on lap number 7, so he'll be able to extend his time a little bit longer, maybe only make this a a two-stop night, which would be beautiful if he can. But it's going to definitely require him to be very kind to those tires, and Stella, Homestead-Miami is not one of the ones that you can be.
No, I would not assume so, being that it hasn't been paved in 20 years. It's getting rough down there.
All right. Well, it hasn't been paved in 20 years. We'll see if that'll be in the budget for Florida to definitely come up and change it up a little bit. I hope they don't turn it into more of a super speedway style. I think this track makes it a little tricky with the lack of banking around the turns. If they pick up the banking around the turns, I think it's going to turn into more of a super speedway track rather than one of these 1.5 mile cookie cutter styles, which I think some of these guys do like coming to. Since Homestead used to be, back in the day, I believe it was the second to last race of the year, if not the finale, before Phoenix came into play, where Phoenix ended up being the last.
Yeah, actually, Miami used to be a road course that was run through downtown. They decided to build this speedway. They broke ground exactly 1 year after Hurricane Andrew basically wiped out the back end of Florida there. We just had a lead change. Mr. Andrew Hennessy is now up front.
Yeah, Hennessy is now taking a peek here on the inside. Quick pass for him. 16 Ford out front now, started in third, so he now has the lead. And I think a lot of guys have seen the back end of this number 16 machine, but hopefully that does not continue as Merzlak is looking to try to reel him in. But Stella, once again, we're still thinking about fuel savings here, so these two may follow the leader for a little while. Rotating back, Kerry Rogers and Luke Smith sitting 3 and 4. I was actually rotating up to where actually William Page was. But I think we got a couple of other guys who might be a little bit closer out there as Kerry Rogers working on it here just a little bit, though. No can do. He's not going to be able to squeeze on by. And I think Krastowski might be under fire there in the back. It's sitting about 18th. Yep, there he is. Krastowski working around Jason Kristen in the 02 Chevrolet. Now, Kristen, he's been doing all right. Up 4 positions here on the night. Obviously, he's doing something right in that Ghost machine. We had our eyeballs on him just for a little bit before we moved up to our leaders, changing a couple of positions there, but that is A-okay. We'll definitely try to make sure we give everybody a little bit of screen time here at SimTraX Broadcasting. I think a lot of people enjoy that. Guys, definitely hit subscribe so you can chat with me out here. I am out here ready and waiting and watching you guys. Right now, I only see one guy who said something to me. Oh, my God. Trust me, we respond. Stella, right now, Austin Hakes up 7 here so far, and it looks like the Sour Skittles machine is finally coming alive. Darren Ingram finally making it happen here, but boy, is he about to get pinched as the number 50 of Sidnor on the outside passes him, and what a line that was. He had the run.
Yes, he did. I wasn't quite sure. Maybe that was just a door draft that brought him down quite so close and gave him the slingshot, but I'm going to count on that Sour Skittles. You call me on Baskin Robbins, I call you on the Sour Skittles car.
Yeah, well, we're going to see how well that works already out there in the chat. They're saying check on Austin Hakes, who may be in it for the long run. Right now, we are around that area is the number 5 of Lovall, is sitting 9th as Austin Hakes sits now 10th. Now, Hakes has moved up 7, so he started 17th, giving him a top 10 run right now. I'm assuming we're going to start seeing the guys who did not pit are going to start talking to crew chiefs now about whether they should take 2 tires or 4 when they come down the next 15 to 20 laps.
Yeah, I can't imagine that they wouldn't want to take, if there's a caution, they're going to take 4 without a doubt. If they're looking at timing to take 2, I guess they would have to see what their percentage is left on those tires.
Yeah, well, the only way to be able to tell the percentages on the tires is bringing it into pit. By that point, it's then too late if you only decide to take right sides. You'll figure out what the left sides are, and by that point, you're back out on the track, and well, maybe I should have. They can't look at them and be like, okay, yeah, no, we're going to do left. So you've already made your plan when they show up, seeing as these pit stop times last about 14 seconds.
Gotcha. Okay. Fair.
Yep, not bad.
So,
Check out Bordeaux now up to 15th. Trey Coleman now sits 12th. Let's try to see if we can see what Coleman's doing out here as we ride on top of 14 Chevrolet. Right now, sitting 12th. He qualified here, hasn't moved up or down. He's the only driver out there other than Zachary Webster who hasn't moved a position yet. First taker out there to pit is going to be Stallhood, who moves in. He's sitting 21st down in the pit box now as we sling past him.
nice.
Wow.
Sorry,
Extended
I'm going to have
time.
to buy tickets.
No, that's fine. Extended time here for Tyler Stallwood. Only 16 seconds in the box, so he spent an extra 2 seconds than normal down there. Might have been pulling the right front fender off the tires. He's been making a little bit of contact with the wall out there. So, man, I guess better now than later. Unfortunately, that is going to put him a lap down as Adam Hoagland moves on around him. Look at this. I tell you what, Stella. Normally we try to stay up front, take a look at our guys in the lead. But right now, I'm looking around the area of Bordeaux, Krastowski, John Peterson, and Schramm. These four right here have been fighting each other all race.
They look like they're doing a hoedown square dance.
Yep. This is the positions 15th through 18th back here. And obviously a little shuffle up again as it looks like the number 4, Krastowski, looking to the inside as a couple of outside line drivers still rolling on through. No other takers to pit yet as Stallhood came down on lap 32. That still leaves us at least with our top 7 drivers who have yet to pit.
Yeah, that's a long trip, but I would venture to say it's got to be coming to a close.
Yeah, it should be happening pretty quick here. Hopefully they'll be able to continue on through. Let's see if how well Hennessy's doing. Check this out. Hennessy,
Yeah.
boy, has he got about a light year before we start finding somebody else. About 3 seconds back is Steven Merzlak. And I'll tell you what, when you see a guy start kind of putting pace on you like that, I wonder if it just takes the wind out of your sails here. As we sit on top of Steven Merzlak, Aria's entering the turn way out there.
Yeah, we are getting into that telescope range now.
Yeah, I bet he'd love to cast a line out there and try to reel him in.
Oh, yeah. Nice fishing reference for South Florida. Very
There
good.
we go. Yep. Unfortunately, I don't believe this track has a pond on the inside. It's only Daytona that does.
Oh, no, it does. They
Does it
have
really?
actually 4 lakes that they had to dig. Like I said, South Miami is flat. If you want any kind of banking, you got to come up with dirt and rock from somewhere. So they ended up digging 4 lakes within the 600 acres, and one of them is in the middle.
Next taker to pit is going to be Jace Nelson. Jace now drops down to 22nd, the 59 Ford. Boy, 40 seconds in the box here, still ticking. I don't know if we got a problem out there. We'll check back in on Jace here in a moment. Let's move up to Zachary Webster, who's sitting 7th. Right now he's starting to get reeled in a little bit here by William Page. Unfortunately, Page is looking about another 0.8 of a second before he can reach out and touch him. Austin Hake sitting 9th still. And Stella, it looks like everything's seeming to stall out just a little bit here at Homestead-Miami. The USORL kicking it off here with the Florida Dodge Dealers 200. And we've got guys passing each other all over this track, and I'm wondering who's going to break first. Unfortunately, our first caution did come out with Dewey Schramm, and ended up having a spin out there on lap number 6. That was about 34 laps ago, and still having a great run as most of these other drivers. Ooh, man. Is a little closer to the wall than he wanted to be was Cal Lovell, who's sitting 12th.
Yeah, now one of our fellows that did come in on lap number 7 is back in for his 2nd round of, let's see, what looks like 4 tires and fuel.
Yep.
That'd be John Peterson.
Yep, Peterson, Krastowski, and Kristen are working their way on down. Now, they originally came down before
Yes.
for just fuel. But right now, I'm even showing Jason Kristen here with 15.7 was his last pit stop time. So I'm hoping he didn't end up and I didn't check the tires off this year.
Ouch.
Yep, we definitely saw off a set of tires here. I guarantee he wished he had one of those back. They do have 4 sets out there, as we said before. So if he's took one of them at 7,
Lap
one of them
7.
now at 42, if we double it at 84, maybe at 80, and then he'd have to take one more possibly by the end. Assuming there would might be a caution here at the end, because we're doing a lot of give and take out here, and a lot of guys pretty fair with it. Everybody's okay, going ahead and giving guys room. We go in and let somebody make a pass, but when we get down to 15 to go, there's no more of that. It's going to be, you're going to have to earn that. And it's definitely going to require somebody to mess up, but I really give it to Andrew Hennessy out here, who's really pulled away from this one. 5 1/4 seconds away from Steven Merzlak, as his Ford is definitely leading the charge here.
Yeah, but eventually they are going to have to come in. Our top 7 drivers have yet to see the pit, and their drop-off is, there we go. Yes, he made it into pit. I wasn't quite sure he was going to do that, but he and Steven Merzlak are both coming in to get their service.
Yep. That's going to bring us to Kerry Rogers taking over the lead here. Now that 12 machine will be able to gallop out front for a little while before he's going to have to come down into pit. Kerry Rogers, Cam Barnes, Luke Smith now sit 1, 2, 3. And remember how Luke Smith was actually falling back there for a while. Now he's going to come back to 3rd by a couple of our leaders pitting now. Don't forget Cal in the number 5, Ford. He came down into pit as well.
For a quicker pit than the other 2 fellas. He didn't even break 15 seconds. Andrew Hennessy and Steve Merzlak are over 15 seconds for their pit stop here at lap 43.
Not bad out there. For Cal Loveball. Get back out there. Luke Smith still sitting 3rd. Cam Barnes waiting to see. This looks slow enough for pit, and it is. Kerry Rogers working away on down. Cam Barnes is now going to assume the lead. Who else is going to join? Looks like Huang Do is coming down.
Yes. All right. So we only have 2 more holdouts, Cam Barnes and Luke Smith, who have not come down even for their first pit stop. And we're at lap 46. That's pretty darn good. That tells me, we could probably make this, if we absolutely positively had to, in 2 stops. Here come our leaders. Cam Barnes, Luke Smith. Don't speed down pit road.
I guarantee they're going to try their best not to. Austin Hakes now has the lead. But Hakes did come in on lap number 7 for a quick top off. And he's going to get back out there. Hennessy, who was in the lead, is already back into the top 10. But he's already taken that 25-second deficit and sawing it away here. Now he's up to 8th.
Oh, my.
So seeing that our pit lane time from in and out of pit is about 44 seconds.
Okay.
So Austin Hakes will be falling way off pace here. Unless we end up with somebody putting on a fresh set of tires and spinning out here. I think right now Austin Hakes may be a little bit in the backfield when he returns back to the track.
Yeah, he could possibly do it, though, without being a lap down, which would be nice. But we shall see.
Clutch of cars here. Guys with tires, guys without tires. Holy cow.
Recipe for a failed cake right there.
Yep. Well, I've got my eye on our only Canadian out here of Darrell Harris. Right now he's sitting 4th. Looks like he goes ahead and gets out of the way of the Dell machine. Right now he is on a roll. That is Kerry Rogers, Cam Barnes, everybody looking to get their laps back the hard way. That does give us should be our top 15 will be back onto the lead lap here. Krastowski is the next one who's got to squeak by. The 28 Toyota to get his lap back. Right now, Stella, even though coming in on lap number 7, the fall off is pretty intense out here. Best time for Hakes was the 33.70. His last lap time was a 35 seconds.
Yeah, that's pretty. It's time.
Yeah, well, when you start falling off, and you're right now running about a second and a half slower than your best time out there. And our guy who was leading, who had a 24-second deficit, now down to about 19 and a half.
Yeah, you're not going to come back after your pit lane, 40 seconds or whatever. He's already cut that too far. You're going to be lapped. Wow. Yeah, Hennessy's now up to 6th with Schramm and William Page coming into pit.
Yep, now 18 and a half. Right now, Merzlak looks like he's going to be, I think, 9 seconds off.
There go our top 3, leaving Garrett Sidnor in first place.
Wow, Sidnor staying out there. Trey Coleman is the only other one who came in on lap number 7, and he decided to stay out.
Okie dokie. Let's see what their plan is. It'll be interesting.
Yep. We want to see how well these guys hold out. This is Krastowski out here all by himself. I hate to see that because that definitely messes a whole bunch of things up. Austin Hakes, Ingram, and Daryl Harris on their way down. And they are going to be fighting their way back out. And Sidnor is down. He is heading in along with Trey Coleman. That means Hennessy is going to assume the lead.
Oh, my.
And watch this. This is going to put
really
Merzlak all the way back here.
What are we looking at, 8?
8 seconds.
Ooh, ouch.
And then we look for Luke Smith. There he is, sitting third. Wow. Talk about putting on a clinic here. That's going to be already, and we're not even halfway through this race.
Yeah.
The only thing you can hope for is him running into some lap traffic out there.
Or dare I say, a yellow flag. So D7H5 out there is also interested to see how these folks,
Uh-oh.
how their long game's going to play out.
Yeah, waiting to see if anything gets called here. Daryl Harris showed he had some trouble out there in the number 9 machine. Whoa.
Oh my goodness. No
Able
touching?
to save it.
Nice. Don't back up.
Well, he did back up, and it did not bring out the caution. We stay underway here. So that was another fresh set of tires feel there, and it ended up loosening up and slinging them on around.
It will do that.
Yeah, you'll notice sometimes when guys are driving to their outside of another car, it'll take the wind off the guy's rear spoilers working on the inside, and it'll end up slinging them around, which ends up being not a good thing for sure. But waiting to see, I believe Adam Hoagland and Jace Nelson are our first drivers to take it back to the garage here tonight. Leaving us, I believe, with our top 20 drivers. So we'll go ahead and fix that tower now and show you guys where our top 20 drivers are without it having to cycle around so many times. And you can find your favorite driver out there. Stella, right now we do have the camera out there on Dewey Schramm. Remember, he was lap number 6 caution out there.
Yes.
He is now 18th.
But he's only 1 lap down and in the lucky dog position for the moment. Stallhood is in jeopardy of having Andrew Hennessy catch up to him. But so these 3 guys, they a couple cautions and we can all be back in the game.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, it could be very very touchy here as we're looking at Stallhood here. And we'll see if we can get a look back off the back of his rig here. And see what he sees. Yep, there it is. That's the blue and red machine. Ooh.
Coming hot.
Yeah, we've got some shifting issues here. Now, Stallhood came down on lap 32.
Goodbye.
Man. Yeah, Stallhood just trying to hold on here. Something seems wrong. You hear how his accelerator is on, off, on, off, on, off, and he's fighting to keep that thing fast out here tonight, but I don't think he's going to be able to keep it going. I don't know. Right now, Stella, I'm not seeing any damage to that number 3 machine, but I just don't think the setup is working for him here tonight. He'd probably like to loosen that race car up, but you see how tight it is going into the turn, and this is exactly kind of what I experience a little bit out here when I race. Is it's turning like a brick. Look how the 14 just kind of flosses right on around him there. And that's Trey Coleman.
Did.
Now, Coleman did come down about 20 laps later than Stallhood with his set of tires. So that is obviously something happening out here. I don't know if Stallhood is going to have to come down a little bit early.
He may have to. He may have to pick up something because he does have the oldest tires out there on the field.
Yep. And we'll take a look at a couple of our guys out here. Notice how we are separated a good chunk around the track out there.
Oh yeah.
Our guys
Very
going.
nice
Everybody's everybody's almost 2 by 2 out there. So we gotta move up. We're Cam Barnes and Wang Do's pretty close. And we're also looking at Zachary Webster, and Kerry Rogers. Those two are pretty close. Number 5 out there of Love All is about to get caught here in a second. So a couple of guys shuffling around out there. Not really any chance of any passing here. Other than Zachary Webster, it looks like Rogers is all over him though. Right now, these guys did come in in the lap 40s, not the 50s. So their tires are starting to get a little bit of age to them here. About 18 to 20 laps on them already. I gotta admit, Stella, taking a look at this race now, this is a heck of a lot better than what we were seeing during practice. Some of the guys out here were having a heck of a time sliding all around the track and spinning out to the infield. And right now, we've only actually had 2 issues out here, one involving a caution.
Yeah, cannot complain, but also don't I'm knocking wood for you guys because don't be manifesting that kind of yellow flag fever.
Yep. All right. Well, we just saw the pass of William Page getting around John Peterson there, trying to get these guys back in correct number line order.
I was looking at Luke Smith actually has passed Steve Merzlak and has started to cut into that almost 10-second lead that Andrew Hennessy had over the second position. He's now under the 8-second mark and firing away.
Yes. I would say Luke Smith, yes, is doing a great job, but what ended up happening in the last stint, Luke Smith was very fast at the beginning of his stint and then ended up falling off almost outside the top 5 before he ended up having to come into pit. So I think Luke Smith, this might be short-lived. I think the only way he's going to be able to catch up to Hennessy is he might have to short pit him here and put on a set of rights and sling back out there to try to cut this lead almost in half if he wants to hang on. But man, I would say probably some of these guys are kind of preying on a caution to help smush them back together and give them another chance, or they're just going to have to come up with a better pit strategy than the other.
Hey, and we also have a new person in the chat. Tech 14 is rooting on Jason. I will assume that's 02 Jason Kristen.
Right, Jason Kristen right now. The 02 sitting 16th. We are kind of watching this clutch of cars here with the 50 machine of Sid Noor out front, Ingram, Page, and Krastowski. I like that name, Krastowski. Sounds like a good name you yell right as he crosses the finish line. But he's just got to get him up there. Right now, 13th. He's up 2, so he's got to pick up 12 more to get up there. Oh, man. Right now, Sidnor outside line here for the 50 Ford. And it looks like he is not going to be able to continue his role as Darren Ingram goes ahead and takes over and moves himself into the top 10. There you go. Now he's rooting on Andrew.
Okay, that's cool. Oh, yes. And I was going to mention, I think this is 3 times now. So believe Sidnor is now in your vocabulary in the right direction.
All right.
D7H5 said you nailed it.
Yep. Yeah, Spidey Senses tell me that's Mr. Hazard out there who brought us on. Appreciate you letting us join back up with the league here and definitely bring you guys what the USORL can do. I assure you they're probably looking for drivers. I always say there probably isn't a league out there that's not looking for drivers. If you think you can hang with these guys, Xfinity Series, let's go. Get it on. It ain't that hard. You can join up. Stella, we even had a couple of drivers out there in the chat before. It didn't take much. Eric Schaefer is a good name to know. And Jesse Priest. Those guys were out there in the chat. We even told them how to sign up. Bam, they were there next week. And the craziest thing is Eric Schaefer showed up and then won that following week. So that was a mind-blowing turn of events there. But check out the times up there, Stella. I know we're not looking at the lead. We're still stuck on the Sour Skittles machine. I know. I'll move. We'll move to Merzlak, who looks like he's under fire here. But notice how Smith's starting to fall off. We're now at the 8 second and it's growing.
I'll be darned.
Yeah, something
It's
tells me
almost like
Smith
you know what
is
you're
running
talking
out of.
about.
Yeah, it's almost. I think Smith's running out of steam. So Hangdo got around Merzlak. Merzlak now settling for 5th. Yeah, Merzlak just not able to boomerang back from this one. And
Yeah,
I think,
Huang is back where he started, and so is Luke Smith. So they've done some shifting, but it's nice to see they at least haven't lost anything.
No, Andrew apparently does not need any help. From what I've heard, that guy is that guy's almost a god here. One of the guys that I wonder what would trip him up. Maybe a road course or something. I don't know. I haven't seen Mr. Hennessy race. And we are taking a look at the number 71 of Steven Merzlak here, as it looks like he's starting to fall off. Kerry Rogers starting to reel him in. Rogers did come in on lap 45 for his tires. SWM is on that card, and if I remember right, SWM, I believe, stands for Sim Rap Market.
Okay.
I know that might be useless information to you, but I'm fairly certain that is who wrapped this car. That you can probably find out looking at the back tail end of this car. Yep, that's Sim Rap Market. Hot dog, look at me.
Yeah, I had no doubt. Ooh, John Peterson headed in.
Yeah, looks like he's going to be our first taker here. Remember how Stallhood was doing out there? He was having to pedal around the track. Lap 64 is actually when he joined in. So lap 73 is when we see our first driver of John Peterson in the 43 Ford. Woo. Man, look at this. Lovell coming alive here. Looking at the inside, Krastowski. Now he's coming down pit. Boy, that's going to be a rough turn. Yep, there he goes. Wow. Lovell almost slides to the side there. That could have been ugly. Look at this. Oh my. Stella, I don't know what in the world's going on out here, but we got guys darting around here all over the place. That is Stallhood in the RCA machine that just slung on by. Right now, I think his crew chief's wagging his finger at him saying, yeah, you enjoy those fresh tires now, but hold back. Out there in the chat looking to see, happy to have y'all putting on at the very least a clean race. Yes, you guys are. It's impressive to see how much these guys are spread out, though. I'm looking at least the top 16 drivers at the moment are on the lead lap. And even the top 10 is separated by almost 17 seconds.
That's what I was gonna say. I mean, normally top 10 might be separated by 7 seconds,
Let's
but
check on Webster. There he is. Go ahead.
but yeah, they are having quite the time keeping up with the front end of this lovely long train.
Yep. And he is saying, I am correct, yes. Steven does some stuff for them, super talented designer. Ooh. Tell you what, they've got a sweet little overlay there from Sim Rat Market that's almost like a black, but it's got a flake to it, and it changes colors as you drive. Man, that thing looks sweet. Yeah, so guys, don't forget to go check out the Sim Rat Market. We are on lap number 76 of the Florida Dodge Dealers 200 here at Homestead-Miami. Fantastic race here so far. Quick recap, we had one caution on lap 6 involving Dewey Schramm, and I believe we also had John Peterson, the 43. The two have made contact. Schramm ended up sideways, bringing down our first caution of the night. Then the only other fumble we had was Darrell Harris on lap 53. No caution, spun out on the front stretch, but was able to keep it off the wall. Other than that, this has been a pretty straightforward race. Nobody really trying anything crazy out there. Stella, right now I see Merzlak and Webster almost falling off the face of the map here. I don't know if something's happened out there or they're stalling out. Webster's now down to 10th. Merzlak is sitting 8th. Boy.
Yeah, that's a far cry from where he was running just a bit ago up there in second. But I keep watching these fellas. Yes, they're running in single file, but they do not run the same line. There's ones that really dive low, and then when they come back up, it's like, thank heavens they paid their spotter well, because they come right across the front of each other's hoods. So close.
All right, Stella,
Yes.
question a little bit here.
No.
On Andrew Hennessy here. I want to watch that RPM gauge. And we are clutching it.
Ooh. We are why?
Mr. Hennessy would like to stay out front longer. He is definitely trying to extend this so he can make one last pit stop and not have to stop again.
Wow.
Lap 43 is when he came on. If he's trying to double that, we'd be at 86. So he's got to squeeze out a little more.
Not making that. I mean... and then you think he can... Oh. But still, I mean, that's still almost 50 laps after that.
Right, but he's had nobody to follow either. So no draft for him, and he's still fighting it out there.
Well, and he's also still gaining. He's now, over 9 seconds and still putting more on, and he's clutching it?
Yeah, oddly enough, while we were sitting in the car with him, he dropped down to 8.8 seconds and then picked up almost 4/10 when on the backstretch. I am just about as confused as you are, and how in the world he's able to do that.
Oh, I doubt that.
Well, now he's putting on even more distance here, 9.5 seconds.
So as we were talking about earlier with the USORL, 2 things. One, you said, I wonder if a road course will trip him up. Well, I'm figuring the ORL part of USORL is going to negate that, but that might just be me. And also, if you want to join up with the USORL League, you can go just do literally USORL in your browser, and it will pop up usorl.weebly.com, and that is their webpage. It says if you're interested in racing with us, join our Discord server. And there's a link right there. Bing, bing.
Excellent. Excellent. I think even Jay has had an opportunity to race with these guys out here.
Our frequent flyer in the chat.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, currently celebrating, I believe, a friend's birthday today.
Okay.
He may be
Yeah.
MIA out there in the chat, but hopefully we'll see we'll see how they're going. And we'll see. I think I couldn't tell if Bordeaux was getting ready to pit there or not. It actually has Jason Kristen working down pit road now. So I'm sure we're going to see 4 tires and fuel. We'll see how well that pays off.
Yeah, Henny's got to be getting close because she went in lap 42, and that I believe is the oldest pit stop we have. There's a few 43s, but that there she goes.
Baskin Robbins machine looking to get
Another scoop of.
Yep, I was going to say a fresh scoop out of it, but try to get back at it here. No tasting spoon of gas here. So back out they go. Let's check in on Cam Barnes, who's up 5 on the night.
Triple scoop.
So far, right now, we are looking at 3 Fords and 2 Chevys in the top 5. And we finally have Darren Ingram and Austin Hakes in their Toyotas sitting 6th and 7th.
That's the highest they've been in a while.
Yes.
Toyotas.
Yeah, Hakes gaining 10 positions on the night. Hoagland's Toyota didn't do as well as he had hoped. 42 laps even for him, and he is down and out for 21st position finish.
Number 5 car of Cal Lovell headed in for his second pit stop of the night.
All right, Lowe's machine making it happen here. Let's see. I would probably rally cap here, saying that Hennessy is probably puckering right now because he is broken over the double mark of when the last time he pit.
That is true.
But Stella also considered during the first 43 laps, he had 3 of them under caution.
Okay.
So him being able to extend this far for this long is quite impressive here. I think Hennessy might. I saw him getting ready to touch that paint there a little bit. I thought he was thinking about it. Hakes is now up to 6th. Ingram now is for 5th. Taking another look here. Huang Do might be in trouble. The Sour Skittles machine moves to the bottom to separate the Toyotas, but no can do.
Ooh.
Side by side, those two guys go.
I thought they were going to touch.
Yeah. I think somebody realized it's a little too much to paint that car. Zachary Webster working his way down.
All right. That's a lot of lights out there. I'm kind of glad we got rid of the fog.
Yeah.
I think our worst one was another Florida track, Daytona. We called that the fog was so bad, we couldn't see the cars on the far end, and that was a first. That was definitely different. The only time we knew where they were was when a caution came out. We could see the headlights of the pace car.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. All right. Checking back out there in the chat. Yep, he says they're a welcoming bunch, so you guys can come out here and give yourself a shot, whether you do really well or you don't do as well. You still come out here, populate that field. I like fields when they start getting up around that 25, 30 to 34 mark. I think that's where it really gets dicey. You know, if there's lap traffic or if you're in the way of getting lapped, it's not me, myself, and I out there. It's 5 or 6 of you, and it's good luck for the leader. But definitely, speaking of our leader, notice how his lane lead is getting cut down, and that's because he's heading down pit. Yep, Andrew Hennessy finally coming in. Let's see if Luke Smith decides to come on down.
Cam Barnes has.
Does not.
Negative.
Luke
Okay.
Smith pitting on lap 46. I think he's going to have a little bit longer he can stay out. But once again, we're sitting at a 35.5 second lap.
Yes. Yeah, if he can only run these speeds like he's set the best lap time so far tonight on brand new tires, then he has a whole different strategy he's going to need to pull. He's going to need in the last 25 laps or whatever to go in and get 4. If that's what it's going to take to reel in, Andrew or whoever's in front of him, because he does die.
Yep. Merzlak working his way on down. So Luke Smith is going to wait out just a little bit longer here, as Hennessy is able to pit and come back out in now 8th place. Smith well on his way in. Boy, still this is pretty dicey out here as we get lap number 93. Half complete here. Checking back out there in the chat, they said, yep, Jay did race with them at Charlotte and New Hampshire. I would say New Hampshire isn't quite the friendliest track to a new driver out there for sure.
Ooh, it's not a friendly track at all.
No,
you've
in
set
Charlotte.
records there.
Yeah, Charlotte is high speed though. High speed, but not as wide of a turn. It's tough to even go too wide there if you're not sure 100% what you're doing.
We have Austin as well as Dewey Schramm headed down pit road.
Yep, we do. All right. 94 underway. 93 that has been on the cars as we still get out there. Ingram in the lead. Sid Norris sitting second. William Page is third. Page off a good bit, though.
Oh, and off the wall.
Yep. A little knock there. See if I can get some drone footage out there and see if we can take a peek.
Who was?
Looks like everything's okay. The U.S. Air Force machine is still straight.
Still flying?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't think we have any trouble on the right rear of that car.
No, I think he just lost some paint.
Ingram on his way down. Sour Skittles machine getting a lot of camera time here tonight. As it looks like Luke Smith goes ahead and gets his lap back. Hakes will be one to get his back. He's got a little ways to go before he can catch the leader, though. Hakes with those 93 tires that were installed on lap 93 going to come into play here pretty soon. As
there goes William Page. He's headed down.
Yep.
So Garrett Sidnor and Trey Coleman, our last holdouts, and they pit 40 laps ago. I mean, lap 52. And these guys are coming in the 90s now, so.
Yep. Yeah, I think the only thing that the driver is kind of betting on all odds here would be John Peterson, who came down on lap 71. And Stallhood as well. He's going to need a stroke of luck here for a caution. These guys to pit have fresh set of tires out there rather than everybody else, and then trying to do what they need to do best. Hennessy regains the lead here. And oddly enough, looks like Huang Do is going to be a lot closer than 8 seconds this time.
Yeah. Huang. Yeah.
Huang Do?
Mm-hmm.
Wang? What? I wasn't sure.
Yeah, it's Huang. Huang.
Okay.
Pronounce it like that, and you're good to
Sure
go.
if it was the O or the A. Oh, man.
We got you. We got you. So, quiz. First Xfinity race was here in 1995. Take a guess who won that inaugural race.
95?
Yep.
Kurt Busch?
Dale Jarrett.
Really?
Yeah. Not to be confused with Nate Jarrett.
Nate Jarrett was fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know if I could get my voice that high.
No, but it was definitely one you knew who it was.
Yes.
Definitely knew who it was. All right, check this out.
Knew
That
who
is
Howard
Austin Hakes
Cosell
working
was.
around Krastowski there. Krastowski getting tires on lap 72. Hakes on 93, so he just walks right on around him there.
Surely did.
34 laps.
And there goes Darren Ingram in the same situation going around Zach.
Yep. Right now I think these two will be hand in hand on this run. Lovell came in on lap 85, so his tires are semi-close. So we'll see how it goes. I know a couple of the guys out here, even if you do join the league, it'll definitely help you out here and definitely teach you how to drive these cars and how to give a fast line. Right now you might want to take a few notes from what Mr. Hennessy's doing out here tonight. He is still sitting at about a 5-second lead out front, though.
He is. This would make a three-peat for Mr. Hennessy.
So he's been hot. Steven Merzlak is now starting to kick it in overdrive. Following behind Sidnor. Sidnor came in 5 laps later than him. We'll see if that comes into play. Luke Smith looks like he's taking a little easier this time, sitting 5th. Only Fords sit in the podium positions here so far. Cam Bardens and Luke Smith looking to break that up with their Chevrolets. And Hakes and Ingram and their Toyotas sitting 7th and 8th would like to get some top 5s here. But some good pit strategies out there on the track has changed a few things. John Peterson on his way back down into pit.
Well, he was the first one in the last round, so I guess he's going for that that last set of tires.
Yeah, probably.
Appears so.
Last set of tires and just enough fuel to make it to the end here. 14.87 in the box, and out he goes.
Yep. Speaking of three-peat, we've never had a three-peat in the Xfinity series here, but they did in the Cup series. And that would have been between 2004 and 2006. So, any ideas? Same guy won 3 times in a row.
I don't know. That one I'd almost aim toward Kyle.
Greg Biffle.
Really?
Yes.
At this track?
Yes. Yes. Beat that, huh? Yeah, I think you are looking much later, with like Kyle Busch, one in 2015, one in 2019.
Okay.
But yeah,
Well, I know Kurt started a lot earlier, and that's why I was thinking originally. But I think he probably started in the early 2000s, not in the 90s.
He won in 2002.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Bugger.
Now, he did a back-to-back. This Xfinity series at this track has more back-to-back winners than I've seen almost anywhere. Because you've got Kyle Busch won back-to-back, 9 and 10. You've got Tyler Reddick back-to-back in 18 and 19. You've got the Biffle three-peat. You got Tony Stewart won back-to-back. It's just, it's very unusual. It's like once they figure it out, they keep doing it.
Now, as long as wherever you find the winning program, make sure you keep doing it.
Yeah, take notes. Write down the recipe.
Well, you're sitting there talking about back-to-back before, and I'm looking at previous winners here already in this league. Season 2 and 3 were actually won by Lovell. And right now he's sitting 9th.
Okay.
Yep, Tommy Bordeaux was season 8. Looking to see the closest one would have been Cam Barnes. Austin Hakes actually had it in season 10 earlier in that year.
Yeah, he's sitting second in the standings. Right behind Garrett Sidnor.
Almost got you.
Almost. But climbing the ranks here, just another 2 spaces this last week was Andrew Hennessy in 3rd, and Cal Lovell is in 4th, followed by Luke Smith. So, but it's so early in the season. We're going all the way until February, so.
Oh, really? Yes. Yes, we are. I like how I asked that as a question.
Yeah.
Still a good race here so far, Stella. Notice how clean this race is. Yes, they are
Yes.
spread out a good bit, but we have been under green flag
Yes.
since lap 9.
They did 200 laps at Bristol and only had 2 cautions.
Ooh.
Yeah. So these guys run real well.
Yeah, well,
3 leaders, 5 lead changes. I couldn't ask for better than that.
Yeah, no kidding.
I've seen Bristol run where you only had 3 people left on the lead lap. So 25 to go. We have made that breaking point. So you want to tell them where we're going to be next week?
Actually, I was just about to ask you. I was going to say, so go ahead and tell me where we're going to be next week and then what the following week is.
I can do that because next week is Watkins Glen.
Ooh.
So that should be interesting. A nice daytime race, unlike this night race. And after that, on the 17th, we will have race number 7 at Nashville Super Speedway.
Nashville Super Speedway and the forbidden
Yes.
concrete surface.
Ah.
That's all right. I
And
like
it'll be at sunset, so we may have a little bit of eyeball slashing with the
Right.
sun.
Stella, we are looking right now at our
Oh.
pass for the 2nd position. Luke Smith getting around Mr. Doe
Huang.
there. Huang Doe.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see how I tried to
What?
skip around that? As you see Luke Smith
Yes.
skip around and resume back to his qualifying position with 23 to go. Still 7.25 seconds out there is Andrew Hennessy. Been leading this race pretty much all night here. Did not qualify on the pole though. Started in the 2nd row here tonight.
Do you not think if he knew he was going to be running like this, I would venture to say he did not push himself.
No. Now get a couple of passes out there. We rotate back here to William Page and his Ford. We will find Fords all the way up to the 7th position. I'm looking to see if Merzlak is going to fall a little bit short. That number 4 car of Zach Krastowski is a lap down. Sitting 17th currently, so the 71 machine going ahead and letting him moan by. Krastowski put his last set of tires on, and on laps to 104. Ooh, Zachary Webster working his way down.
He is.
I'm not sure if that was a timed stop.
You think he accidentally went down pit road?
No, I think something's up. I'm wondering if he can't reach out or if he's slowing down too much, and he realizes he's not going to make it on fuel, so he came down. Okay. Remember, Peterson came down on 101. He's going to stretch it out to the end here.
Oh,
20 laps left to go. A couple of guys are laps down, though. Yeah, see? That's what I'm curious about right now is Hen Bordeaux. And the 26 Ford is still rolling on.
Yeah. Well, she's got 110 tires, so I would venture to say she's going to. She can get a lap back at least, and then if we do have, like you say, a lack of give and take, caution later, she'll be in good shape.
Mm-hmm. 14s, Tech 14. Jason's up to 13th. Yes, he is.
Whipping around there.
Well, right now, Hen Bordeaux is leading the best times of her night with 33.44. Right now, that car is finally hooking. The track is rubbered up, and away she goes. Not bad. Unfortunately, a little too late.
Yeah.
2 laps down, but that's okay. It still looks like we're going to have a top 20 finish. Stella, I do want to note that our top 11 drivers are on the lead lap.
Yes.
Dewey Schramm is down a lap, though. It's kind of a bummer here. I'm just looking at how fast right now Andrew Hennessy is driving out there. This is quite impressive of what he's able to do here tonight.
Yeah, afraid Luke Smith. I mean, they lost that 5-second away mark. They are now 7 seconds and adding up, not down. So Darren Ingram just passed Huang Do and has placed the complete trifecta Ford, Chevy, and Toyota onto the podium.
Yeah, that we have. So the Sour Skittles machine is coming into play here tonight. Gaining 6. He did start top 10 here tonight. Austin Hakes. Holy cow, started 17th. And right now is sitting 5th. So not bad there by Hakes and the only Toyota still left out there on the track. Along with Darren Ingram's. Let's check out Sid North. Oh yeah. Sid North getting around Cam Barnes. That's for 6th. 15 to go. We got some late passes here. Hakes now moves up to 4th. Might have it. The outside line, he's trying though. And I think he finally does get the clear.
Yeah, we were told to watch him for the long run.
Yeah, I would say Hakes is probably going to try to reel in Ingram here. And see if he can get him.
Well, Luke Smith's best time for the night just fell to John Peterson. How about that with a 33.138?
Man, I'm so glad you got that little extra decimal place. That's fantastic.
Okay. I don't know how I did it,
Mine
but
rounds
okay.
up 3314 is all mine says.
Oh.
I'd like that you're able to get that little extra.
Well, it does help when it shows the same time on qualifying, and you're like, how did they decide who's on the pole in number 2 when they're both the same time? But they go in alphabetically or something. But then I can see that third digit will clear that up very often.
We're moving back here to William Page and Cal Lovell again. And Krastowski is going after John Peterson. Krastowski down on the bottom, Peterson high. And now, yes, they are laps down, but they are still battling for position out there. Every position counts as more points. Stella, we're going to float up here in just a moment and check on Mr. Ingram there, as I believe Luke Smith might have fried those tires off yet again.
Oh, no. Ooh. Yep. Yeah, because there's only a 2-lap difference. This, oh yeah. It's coming in hot.
Hold on, 39 getting closer to the paint down at the bottom. Ingram stays high, leaving the lane dead center in the middle.
I'm gonna laugh if Austin Hicks comes shooting through there. We have seen that.
Now Hicks is off by about 2 seconds.
Ah, okay.
That's actually Austin Hicks back here. That is actually the 02 out there of Jason Kristen and the 02 Chevrolet out there.
Okay. I saw somebody right behind him.
Yep. Ah, look at that out there in the chat. P2 battle going to be heating up soon. That it was. We rotated up there. I was curious to see what was going to happen. So there and gone. And that's about all she wrote on that. Still 9 laps left to go here. It's still all Hennessy's race.
Yes. So at least he shouldn't be clutching anymore, right?
You wouldn't think. He's definitely taking it easy here. I'm wondering if Hakes has enough to take over Luke Smith here at the end. He is staying pretty stagnant, about 1.5 seconds behind Luke Smith.
Luke Smith is slowing down compared to Ingram, so there may be some room to battle.
Yep, has the 95 machine there working on the outside. That's Zachary Webster. Webster came down a little bit later here tonight, about lap 113. Is when we saw him come down into pit last.
Nice.
Yep, we'll check on Merzlach here in just a second. You want to make sure everybody's calm, cool, and collected up front here. We rotate back farther in the pack. Merzlach sitting 11th, wants the top 10 here tonight. He's got 0.5 seconds in front of him. Let's see if we can catch that Lowe's machine that is out in front. Wow, 7 laps left to go. Hakes getting a little less time there.
Is it just evil of me to say, ooh, I wish there was a caution and we had a nice little shootout here to the end?
Oh, shootout at the end? Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely not. I think this league, along with others, would probably pride themselves in the amount of cautions that they don't have.
Agreed.
So no one likes eye-pacing, that's for sure.
Yes. Yeah, and at this point, it would go down to green-white checker. Be 3 laps to go when we came back. So, yep.
Yeah, they'd have a couple chances if it went to green-white checkered a couple of times, but
3.
Yeah, I think I was gonna say a few, and then that's it. They're gonna draw the line. Sitting back here around that William Page area. Right now, the closest drivers out there are William Page, Cal Lovell, and Steven Merzlach. 1, 2, and 3 here. Hakes is still trying to reel in Luke Smith. That has him got him by about 0.5 second here, but with 4 to go, he's going to have to make this move here pretty quick. Now Ingram is up there catching another driver. I believe that is Zachary Webster working around the Sour Skittles machine. He's still trying to make something happen here.
Yeah, he has a much better chance than Ingram does with Hennessy, or even Smith does with Ingram.
Yep.
So.
Ooh, look at 71 there, Steven Merzlach. Merzlach to the inside, trying to see if he can squeeze just a little more. Takes a little bit of that door draft there from the 5 to help pull him down the backstretch here. And then the 3, he has a nose on him. Right now getting ready to sling by. Merzlach doesn't clear him, though. Looks like he has to check up. Pulling on around will be Lovell, but he doesn't clear him now. Now it looks like something checked up there on the outside. Definitely close here. We'll rotate up to Hakes and Smith here in just a second. Yeah. 71 makes the clear.
That puts him in the top 10.
Yep. Hakes knows it's 2 to go. He's got less than 3 miles to make his move on Luke Smith. That would be the battle for third between these two here. Right now, Hakes is starting to kind of reel him in just a little bit. Watching him to see what he's going to do. Hakes takes a little bit of a higher line, trying to cross him over. Down underneath. A little fresh air to the nose there might give him the opportunity he needs, and white flag is out. Hakes is putting on a show here. Almost got a fender on him here, heading into one.
Yes.
This race is all Andrew Hennessy. Darren Ingram is out front, and there is the pass. Austin Hakes is going to be our third place, but not yet.
Not yet.
One more chance here for the 30-mile machine of Luke Smith. Crossing the checkered flag is Hennessy. Ingram's coming in the second here. Still working his way around. Let's check on Smith and Hakes. And he's going to get him right here at the end. Sidnor almost gets him for fourth. Luke Smith barely holds on.
Ooh, well done. Nice timing.
Yeah, great race here. As Andrew Hennessy racks another win. Love all very close to going a lap down, though. 35 seconds. He was 27 and a half off pace.
Tell ya. Our chat out there saying Austin Haig's going to be the one to watch on the long run. Definitely called that as far as a last-minute podium finish. So here's your top 20 guys. Let's find out where your favorite drivers are. Where they finished up in our Florida Dodge Dealers 200 for USORL Cup Series at Homestead-Miami.
Yeah, not bad here, everybody. Alrighty, well, that's going to do it for our race. Driver interviews coming up next, guys. Hold on just a moment. We'll go ahead and reel them in. All right, we finally catch up with our third place finisher, Austin Hakes. I'm told to watch you in the long run. You bring that 28 Toyota into third place here tonight, and man, oh man, did you start way back in the field. Let's start at qualifying. Is this where you wanted to even start?
To answer your question, no, it is not. I got into the wall with there being only one lap of qual. You can't really afford to make those mistakes. I made the mistake, started like P17 or 18. So yeah, you definitely don't want to start that far back. Typically, usually it doesn't work out for you.
No, not at all. All right, so a few good choice pit stops out there tonight. Had worked your way up to the front. As you were kind of slicing back and forth, what was the strategy at the beginning of the race compared to the end?
Yeah, so we got the caution, I think we put on like lap 6. I just topped off and took no tires because I didn't know how many cautions we were going to get. But typically this race has been the last season or two gone green for the most part. So I was thinking if I could top off on fuel. I did some quick math in my head under caution and realized that the extra 7 laps that we'd get on fuel would put us to the end, and then only a couple guys did it. I think Garrett did it, Darren, a couple of those guys. So it really helped out. Most of the field up front didn't do it, and so they had to sit there and clutch for the next couple runs, and even some of them couldn't even make it. So, but after that, it was kind of just making sure I hit my marks as far as fuel goes, and just trying to stay in front of the guys who had pit with me under caution.
All right. Before I get your shout outs, Luke Smith out there. How tough was that on the final few laps?
Man, I was looking at the relative, and I was like, at first it was looking pretty good. I seen Darren pass him. I was hoping Darren would hold him up a little more, and he got by him pretty quick. So, and then I was honestly I was nervous about Garrett. Garrett was catching me pretty quick, like a tenth or two a lap. Luckily we kind of evened out there with a couple to go, but man, I was sweating pretty hard trying to pass Luke. I'll tell you that.
All right, man. Shout out time. I got to get you ready for Watkins Glen.
Yeah, Watkins Glen should be a good one. There's some good road course racers here, so. But otherwise, I'd like to just shout out all the admins, Davey, Darren, Zach. They all do a good job here. Shout out to you for broadcasting. We're glad to have you. I know came in. There was some prior engagements with our other broadcasters, so we're really glad to have you guys and have you guys be a part of the league.
Yeah, not a problem, buddy. I like to see nice, clean racing out here, man. I know it kind of can get messy at times, but we're going to be bringing you guys the playoffs during the trucks, and then go ahead and carry out the Xfinities. Austin Hicks, congratulations on your third place finish, up 14 tonight in the 28 Toyota. Congratulations. We'll see what you can do next week.
All right, thank you.
All right, Austin Hicks. What a job he did. What a job. And that's going to move us to our second place finisher of Darren Ingram. Blew him up earlier here in the night. And Darren, talk to me about this race, man, and kind of outside. How were you able to prepare, especially handling the admin stuff tonight?
Oh man, I'm used to it. That's just it's part of the routine now, so it doesn't phase me at all. But man, pretty good race, huh? I was a little nervous we had that early caution, but then we went green the rest of the way.
I thought a caution may have come out on lap 53 while Daryl Harris got sideways on the front stretch. He even put in reverse and still no caution, but I guess it wasn't enough to impede traffic out there. If another caution were to have come out, how would that have affected your strategy here tonight?
Oh, it definitely would have hurt us. I think that our strategy, we came in, me, Osty, and a couple of those guys, we came in and pit under that first yellow, topped off, which meant we got to run the green flag runs without we lost some track position, but we didn't have to save anything on the runs to just make it on the two more stops, which I think helped us a lot. I think the back half of runs, we were just gaining so much time, half a second a lap over guys. So I think if we had a poorly timed caution, it would just kind of would have set us back and taken away our advantage. So I'm honestly glad we didn't get another one.
Yeah. Well, another track you most likely won't see cautions at will be Watkins Glen next week. How are you at road courses, and kind of what's your confidence level between you and your team of how to work out this track and try to end up another top five, if not podiums?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I really enjoy road courses. I've always just kind of felt comfortable on road racing, just across any discipline. So I know a lot of us oval guys here in these big clunky stock cars don't really like them, but it's comfortable to me. So Watkins Glen especially is a track that I have so many laps on from doing the endurance events, 6 hours of the Glen. So which a couple of us do, like Davey Hazard, I think he should be racing next week. We won together that event last year with Noah Joyce. So I'm looking forward to it. We got a lot of good road course guys here. The field will probably get strung out some. I think you'll probably see a lot of strategy. People will run the race backwards, run it versus running the can dry. So it'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully getting another top five. Hopefully one step higher next week.
All right. Well, I've seen a lot of guys, a lot of strategies go with road courses where guys don't take tires, which to me is almost defeating the purpose of coming into pit sometimes, but I found trying to work the heat back into the tires again is almost suicide going at that. But hopefully we'll see how the Sour Skittles machine performs next week. Darren Ingram, go and give me your shout-outs, man.
Yeah, for sure. First off, shout out you guys. I can't wait to go back and rewatch the show. I'm sure it was you guys put on a fantastic show. Shout out to all my teammates, even the ones that weren't here tonight. Noah, Davey, Antonio, everybody. We had a good looking Skittle Sour car out there tonight, and I'm looking forward to getting it back out on track there next week at Watkins Glen.
All right, congratulations putting the number 21 Toyota into the second place spot, man, and we'll see what you can do at the Glen.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Darren Ingram. Wow. And Stella, talk about setting up the race for tonight. That was the man I had to contact. So great job by him kicking in overdrive, taking it upon himself to make sure he gets everything squared away and fixed. But talk about somebody who knew how to drive a fixed car is going to be Andrew Hennessy. Dude, what in the world tonight happened? I would say in a good sense, you took off like a rocket tonight.
Yeah, it was fun. The tires mattered a lot, obviously. I was just, first part of runs, like first 20 laps, I would just save my tires. And then the last 20 laps, I would just smoke them and go really hard, at least on the first run. And then on the second run, I realized the race was a field strategy race. Like if I went hard the whole race, I wasn't going to be able to save, or, I was only going to be able to pit at the end. So I had to save hard in the middle, which, yeah, that was fun.
Well, we actually sat along with you in the cockpit, and I said, something seems funny about this car. And I looked, and your RPM gauge was dropping, and I said, oh, he knows he's got to stretch it. So I knew you were clutching around the turns. How close were we getting on fuel before you had to pit?
So at the end of the race, I ran out on the cooldown lap.
Oh, my.
So I was only able to do a little
That's close.
burnouts at the end. I think I
That's
went like
too close.
46, 47 laps in the middle stint. That's why I was able to stretch at the end.
Could you have stretched out the first part? I think you came in on lap 43, and we had a caution on lap 6.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I pitted probably with like a lap and a half fuel still in the car.
Oops.
Because I didn't realize at that point that I would still have to, like, everyone only had to pit one more time. I was thinking it was still another 2 stops at least. So I'm like not thinking, and then I'm looking at it when everyone's pinning and everything, and I'm looking at my fuel and the numbers, and I'm like, I'm going to do 2 stops, and no one else is probably going to have to. Everyone is probably saving. And so then that's when I just started saving hard. The second run, I was like, the last like 2 laps of the middle stint, I was just clutching it halfway down the straightaway. Just to like, and I coasted down pit road. I ran out of my box for the last pit stop, just so I could make it.
And you still ended up 9.5 seconds in front of your nearest competitor.
It helped the first stint, definitely, because the guys behind, I'm pretty sure, pitted on the first stop. So I was able to at least stretch a gap going hard the first stop and then or first run. And then I could just focus on saving the last 2 runs.
Man. So this race got pretty well strung out, and Stella's talking about 9 seconds here and another 8 seconds back from that. We found another guy. There's a chance of that happening at the Glen. How I'm assuming you've raced there before, and I think that's probably a stupid question and probably an easy assumption here, but where is the easiest place to pass at the Glen if you're looking to make a move?
I actually did the 6 hours Watkins Glen like 2 months ago. So probably the bus stop was where I was making most of my passes, and turn 1 was the easiest, but you have to watch out because there's a lot of wheel hop going in turn 1 with Xfinity cars from what I remember. But that place is pretty hard to pass at. Otherwise, everywhere else you kind of have to go single file and wait in line until you get a good enough run off of one of those corners.
Right.
So that race would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think guys who are trying to make any passes on the carousel is pretty difficult, and the one who always dives to the inside is the one who always ends up facing the rest of the field out there. So that is going to definitely be a tricky race, especially for you. I see you've been on a winning streak here as of late. Anything changing in your game plans out there that has caused this, or is this just a good slew of runs for you tonight?
These are just my better tracks. I probably race these the most in iRacing. It's just the tracks I like the most, so I think it's just a coincidence that they're all in a row, at least. So I feel like later in the season, when we go to tracks where maybe I raced that one like once or twice, I'm not going to be as good. I've done a lot of Homestead, a lot of Bristol and Phoenix. I love those tracks. So
Cool.
Hopefully we keep winning.
Cool, man. Well, we definitely hope so. You definitely did a great job here tonight, and I'm sure we're going to see more of it. Andrew Hennessy, of course, man. I gotta get your shout outs for the sponsors and the people out here watching you tonight in Victory Lane.
Yeah, I gotta thank you guys for doing the broadcast, the admins in this league for bringing on this league every week, for doing the truck series on Thursdays and the cup series on Saturdays, and everyone else who races in the league. It's a lot of fun. The last few races we had a lot of green flag runs, a long green flag run, so it's been a lot of fun.
Awesome, man. Anybody out there? The last question before I let you go. Anybody out there? You might team up with and start saying, "Hey, this is a guy who's going to run with me, arm in arm."
I don't know. I think I was hoping Eric Sable. Yeah, I was hoping I saw he entered, but he didn't end up racing. So I was hoping he would be in it because it's always fun racing him.
Yeah, very tough driver. I noticed he's been on a good roll as well. But we'll let you guys duke it out at the Glen. Congratulations on your win here, Andrew Hennessy, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
All right, Stella. Wow, great race here so far. Did spread apart, though. I will say it did spread apart, but these guys definitely put on a great show out there, battling side by side, couple of passes here and there. But as a multi-lane track, sometimes you just got to figure out whether that dirty air ends up becoming a huge problem.
Yeah, it's either your friend or your enemy, depending on your track. But, yep, nice clean race. I look forward to next week at the Glen, and give them your shout-outs.
Give them my shout-outs.
Yeah, be well, be safe, be kind.
Yep. Oh, yeah. That's I love that. That's a good one. All right, everybody. Appreciate you guys joining us for here at SimTraX Broadcasting. You can obviously find us over there with the Nora League on Tuesdays. You can find us with Bandit Racing League on Wednesday. And then we are picking up the USORL here on Thursday and on Saturday. Guys, definitely check out the upcoming streams I got lined up for us here in the next couple of weeks, and definitely make sure you put a reminder on. But until next time when we get for the stream lined up for us, this is Patrick Morrison here with SimTraX Broadcasting. Stella joining alongside me here with the USORL. Be well, be safe, be kind, and we'll see all you guys next time.